Hi, I'm the List Girl and welcome to my videographic journal. Let's go! Today I'm going to be talking about stimming because it's important and I want people to know. Stimming is defined as a self-stimulatory behaviour that is marked by a repetitive action or movement of the body, also known as self-soothing. Although saying that, stimming is also seen in autistic people when they are extremely happy or excited, because in extreme excitement and happiness, we cannot really control what our body does, what our facial expressions do, and we all stim in different ways. And at the end of this video, I will share a list, because I am obsessed with lists, as the name implies, of ways in which I personally stim, which will honestly make me feel extremely vulnerable, but it's happening. But ways in which many people on the spectrum may stim can differ. For example, for some people they may clap their hands, some may rock backwards and forwards, others may pace around, some play with fidget toys, they might spin objects, or snap their fingers. They may even play or fidget with certain fabrics, or jump and hop around in excitement like my bunny rabbit Erin when he is happy. And stimming for us is extremely important, and we shouldn't be afraid to do so no matter where we are. We as human beings all have our own form of coping mechanisms, and when it comes to stimulus, we on the autistic spectrum use repetitive behaviors to calm ourselves, to soothe ourselves, to regulate our emotions of tension, confusion, or when we're overwhelmed. The following quote is very good at explaining this. Stimming is seen by many therapists as a protective response to less predictable environmental stimuli that for some can be overly sensitive to, by Kayla Jane Jeffers. But obviously, as I said earlier, it can also be a form of expression of extreme happiness and excitement. I've heard many people state that it is something that we shouldn't do in public because it brings attention to us, or could make others feel uncomfortable, or could make others consider us to be weird or different and odd. But not stimming would be painful and debilitating. Not stimming would cause stress and prevent us from freely expressing ourselves and our emotions. So maybe just think of stimming as another form of expression or as another emotion. Don't metaphorically handcuff us and prevent us from expressing how we feel just because you think it's weird or strange. To us, it is extremely normal and very much necessary for our mental well-being. I remember my autistic cousin, I'm not going to name any names because privacy and that, but he used to jump around and clap his hands and just be really happy, running around the house like that. Or he'd have open, repetitive conversations with himself that he memorized from movies or TV shows, and he would do that freely. But I've noticed more and more each time that I've seen him last, whenever we were out in public or near other people, he would prevent himself from doing so, or he'd try to limit his stimming because he notices the way that others look at him. Yes, he notices. He is very much aware of his environment and those around him, as are all people on the autistic spectrum, despite them probably assuming that he probably doesn't or isn't aware. Autistic people are very much aware. Whether they make it obvious or not, doesn't matter. They are aware and they are taking it in, and they're taking in people's reactions and responses. And I worry that he may be slightly embarrassed by it, despite it being 100% normal, and he should not feel that way at all. And that is not the kind of world I want to live in, which is why I'm making this video, to raise awareness and acceptance. Because I don't want to live in a world knowing that there are autistic people like me out in the world worrying about what others think of their stimming behavior or their coping mechanisms. Everyone should be able to express or self-soothe in whatever way that they need to. If A neurotypical person is having a breakdown. They start crying, people worry and they ask, are you okay? Can I help? What can I do to help fix the situation? Do you need me to call somebody? What do you need? But when a neurodivergent autistic person on the spectrum has a breakdown or starts stimming, the reaction is quite different. And I don't understand why, because everybody has their shit, everybody deals with their shit a different way. Just because stimming may look or seem strange to a lot of people, it's just another coping mechanism, or it's just another expression of emotion. It should not be seen as weird, and I want people to start knowing that and to start thinking that. But now that my little rant is over, I will now make myself quite vulnerable by sharing the ways in which I personally stim. And I honestly don't care if it makes people feel uncomfortable. Just sit, watch, listen, and learn. Number 1, my blankie. I love the fabric, it's soft and calming, and it's my most used form of stimming. I take my blankie with me almost everywhere, cannot sleep without it, nor can I go several hours without it. If I don't have my blankie to fiddle with, then you may notice me out in public, grab the side of my top or my jumper and fidget with that. Number 2, something else I used to stim, especially when I'm out in public, is George's fingernails. It's soft and also soothing, and I really like the feel of it. Number 3, playing with my own fingernails. They're soft as well. Number 4, clicking things like the tip of a pen or my phone cover. Number 5, fidgeting by placing a pen in between my fingers and rocking it side by side, sometimes letting it knock on the desk. Number 6, my spinny ring. Whee! It's very useful in all occasions and less distracting for other people. Number 7, zoning out, also known as daydreaming, imagining a different life, a future event, or pretending I have certain friends, like people I have seen in TV shows or movies. Number 8, rocking either side to side or back and forth, mostly from side to side. I like doing this quite frequently, but I also tend to do it when I'm stuck in a queue at the post office or at the grocery store. I'll stand on my tippy toes and then rock back onto the balls of my feet and continue to do that backwards and forwards. Number 9, wiggling my feet. I catch myself doing this sometimes when I'm watching a movie or a show and I'm really enjoying it. I guess it's like my happy, expressive, excited expression, I guess. Number 10, feeling soft things on my lips, like the tip of a pen, my fingernail, or my fingertip, or my blankie. 11, my hand clappy thingy. I don't know, I just like it. It's comforting when my head's going a bit chaotic when I'm out in public. And finally, number 12, putting the same song on repeat over and over and blasting it in my ears, which really helps me to regulate my emotions, mostly because it helps me kind of zone out and imagine different things, and daydream quite heavily, I'd say, like proper zoning out. Those are the ways in which I stim. I hope that this whole video was quite useful. Let me know in the comments if you're on the spectrum how you stim. Also feel free to explain why you feel stimming helps you feel better and helps soothe you, so that when neurotypicals or other people that may be interested in this topic can then just scroll down to the bottom and just not only like listen to me but also read what you guys have to say as well for extra information. But anyways, I am the List Girl, and just before I log off, I just have one question for you. What is your next adventure?